Hey, everybody. Here we are with Dave Mendicino, City Councillor and Downtown North Bay Board Member. Dave, good morning. How are you?
I'm great, Paul. How are you this morning?
Excellent. Thank you. Listen,
Good.
thanks so much for hopping on. I'm honored and privileged to be in your presence. So thank you. This is awesome. Listen, we wanted to get you on here to talk a little bit about, downtown North Bay and how we can help to shed some light on it. It's an incredible place. It's the heart of our city, and we just want to get it some love and attention. So, talk to me a little bit about that. Being that you're on the board as a board member, you probably have a little bit of information you can share with us. So, tell us a little bit about what's going on down there right now. Are we open? Are we open partially? Are we closed? What does that look like?
Yeah. First off, you mentioned a lot of the downtown. Real quick, I love that's where a lot of my council work is focused on the downtown because I love it. I've been, as I was telling you before we started recording, I've been going down there since the age of 10 to my dad's Mario's hairstyling barbershop. So I love the downtown. It is the heart of our city, and it needs to be rejuvenated, and we've been working on that ever since council started this term. Council is extremely focused on the downtown. The mayor we're all supportive. There's been a lot going on. As far as right now during coming out of COVID, we're closely following what we're allowed to do from the retailers are, but some are offering curbside service, some are offering scheduled appointments. Some of these stores have especially with the distancing that you have to do now. Some of them are small, right?
Yeah.
So some of those kinds of stores are maybe having to offer curbside service until because they're too tight. So there's a lot of things that have come up, but a lot of challenges. But the retailers in the downtown, they're resilient, and some are offering curbside, like I said. The Opera is open. You can get some great bakery in there.
Okay.
London Underground is curbside service, but an appointment. So it's just everyone is doing what they can, but we're moving along. But they're resilient, and they're going to come out of this strong.
Good. I know we've got some incredible restaurants downtown that are opening up their patios, which is exciting to kind of be able to go back out, eat at a restaurant, and then outside we've got some nice weather. So that's great to start seeing some of that. I think there's 3 or maybe 4 of them downtown that have started with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to see. It's going to bring people down there as well.
Absolutely, and restaurants in the downtown, they've always been a staple, and we need to get out and support these restaurants that have been shut down through COVID. I mean, you can imagine having a restaurant with, say, a capacity of 50, and then all of a sudden, even when you open up, you can only go to maybe 20 or 25, whatever. We don't know what the number is. So by the province allowing these patios to happen, which is great, these restaurateurs, they're really taking, I think we're going to see some creative things coming out of them in terms of patios, in terms of, because they need to make up for the capacity that they don't have inside the building anymore. Patios is the way to do it. We got a short time frame being in Northern Ontario with outdoor patios. So they're really, and council is supporting them by extending the patio boundaries. I mean, you're seeing a lot of them pop up in the city, but specifically in the downtown, the restaurants in the downtown, and really all over need our support to coming out of COVID, and they're really coming out with some great ideas with the patios on how to do that.
I know me and my wife, we've been constantly ordering takeout food for the last 3 months to try to support all these restaurants, because we all want them there after COVID. So we've never had so much takeout. She's loving it because she doesn't have to cook, so she's loving that. Okay, talk about a little bit about some of the attractions that we have in that downtown area that will bring people there, like the Splash Pad, Dion Quint's home, Farmers Market. These are all great attractions that bring people down there. And is the Splash Pad now open?
The Splash Pad is open now. And you're right. I mean, the downtown, it's all about, as part of the rejuvenation, part of it is how do we bring more people into the downtown? And
right.
When you've got something like the Dion home there, which has been designated, I'm going to get this wrong, but it's been recognized by the federal government for its heritage.
Right.
You know, that's an attraction. The Splash Pad is there. That gets people there. The Farmers Market, that's a great thing to have in the downtown, even though it's not in our boundaries. It drives a lot of people in the downtown on Wednesdays, you know, when they're open and on Saturdays. So certainly, you know, those things are definitely attractions. Our challenge now and what we're looking at now is what else can we bring down there? We have a community waterfront, a gorgeous community waterfront park. You know, we need to start looking at what we can put in that park in order to drive people in the downtown. And that's being done right now through the Parks Master Plan review. So council's going to be looking at that. And one of the parks as we have is one of our most beautiful parks is the waterfront park in the downtown.
Yeah. You mentioned before we started recording about a new committee, the Downtown Investment Advisory Committee. Talk to us a little bit about what that is and what does that mean for downtown?
Well, what we looked at, you know, one of the things the mayor and I talked about in one of our first conversations is possibly getting a committee together to look at from a higher level sort of thing. The Downtown North Bay Board, which I sit on, they do, you know, it's made up mostly retailers, but a mix. It's a mix. You know, they run the day-to-day downtown North Bay, but we felt looking at it from a higher level, what it needed to rejuvenate. And we started talking about this board, property owners, getting the chamber involved, you know, Heritage North Bay involved, and so this committee was formed out of the Downtown North Bay Board, formed this committee. And now these property owners, we all meet you know, on a fairly regular basis. We're starting to drive recommendations to council, like about snow removal, about parking. We've seen a lot of changes there. So it's just looking at the downtown at a more higher level. We are going to be looking at boundary expansion. To me, when we start talking about marketing the downtown, the one thing we should be doing more and more, and we're looking at that as well, is how do we include the waterfront in there? I mean,
right on.
The downtown, it's so unique. It's next to a waterfront. When we say the word downtown, we should be saying the word waterfront.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Look who I'm talking to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw your big smile on your face as soon as I said that.
Yeah. Yeah, the waterfront's a beautiful area. You've got that kind of underpass walkway that connects downtown to the waterfront. Stunning, gorgeous. Splash pad is there. The carousel's there. The train's there. Oh my God, there's so much that can be connected. And like you said, probably broaden the boundaries of the downtown, because that's all part of it, man. That's what are the incredible facility structures that we have down there.
We have such an amazing asset to market, and when we're trying to grow the city, you know, when we're trying to bring people here, that's the first thing. That's one of our main assets. That's what when people come here, whether to live, whether it's just after a couple out when they're 60 years old looking to retire, or whether it's a young couple that's been relocated here or a new job here. They look for stuff like that. And the downtown, to me, is one of our greatest assets. And up until recently, it was looked at three separate entities: the downtown North Bay boundaries, the community waterfront park, and then the marina. And you're right, we got to look at it all as one. And that's what this Downtown Investment Advisory Committee Board is doing. We're trying to look at it all as one, because, and from a planning perspective, the city has implemented a lot of their planning policies for that area to take in all three entities. So that's how we're going to drive everything. You can't look at it as three separate entities. You got to look at that whole area as one big entity.
Yeah.
Start referring to it as downtown waterfront.
It's a great idea. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Right now, downtown North Bay, but downtown waterfront has a ring to it. You know, my son-in-law's in Toronto, head chef at a big restaurant down there. I'm trying to convince him, look, come north. I mean, he's got my granddaughter. I want her closer. There's lots of lifestyle here. There's lots of great things to offer. It's just making them pull that pin. They're so used to the Toronto lifestyle, right? So
they're so used to the Toronto lifestyle, and it's interesting because again, prior to COVID, one of the things we're starting to focus on as a city and through Invest North Bay is attracting people out of the GTA. I mean,
right.
Even before COVID, there was there was so much in the GTA potential. People not being able to get ahead because of cost of living. They do love living down there. They like the lifestyle, but they can't get ahead. And so we were developing a plan to focus on that area, on those individuals. Well, now during COVID, if you were thinking about getting out of the GTA before,
you're running.
You know, so it does. You know, you need to, as much as COVID has been, it's been crazy, man. I mean, we've never seen anything like this in our lifetime. And by the way, I'm so proud of the city, everybody, the community, about how we've, everybody, the whole city, how we've rallied together. That's just going to make us stronger coming out, by the way. That's my feeling. But, certainly it's an advantage if someone was looking to get out of the GTA, and now's the time to ramp up that marketing and that campaign to get them.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
We're already starting to see it. We're starting to hear the buddy of mine was telling me his house on the market. He had 6 couples go. 6 people go. 3 couples, all from the GTA.
Wow.
For various reasons.
So that was a North Bay home he was selling, and yeah, that's nice.
And we're starting in the last 2 or 3 weeks, Paul. It's kind of interesting. I've heard a few of those stories, and for all kinds of reasons, right? 60-year-old couple, they want to be close. Their kids live here. They want to be close to their kids. A young couple that we heard about that can now, based on their job, and they realized during COVID that, hey, I can work from home.
Right on.
He's coming back to North Bay, and he's still keeping his job in Toronto.
Yeah.
We got to take advantage of those of that situation.
Yeah.
And I think we're well poised for that.
Good. A little shout out to the mayor, Al McDonald. Incredible job that he's been doing through this whole COVID experience. The postings on Facebook, keeping everybody informed, staying on top of his game. Hats off to him. Hats off to you and the job that all the councillors are doing. Thank you for all your efforts, because I mean, there's a lot that goes into it that people don't see. So from the Clark team to you guys to the mayor, thank you. Incredible stuff.
Well, I appreciate that, and I know the mayor and council appreciate you saying that. So it's been. I'll tell you, it's been quite an experience. I'll tell you a quick story. About 10 years ago, I remember reading the city's pandemic emergency plan, and I remember reading it. I'm going, oh my God, there's no way something like this could ever happen.
Wow.
Sure enough. Okay.
Yeah.
But again, I'm so proud. I mean, all this stuff, supporting local business, all this stuff that you and Clark Communications have been doing to everyone. I'm truly amazed at how everyone's rallied together as a city. And I'll tell you, I'm very confident coming out of COVID. I think we're poised for bigger and better things. We were doing a lot of things before that this is just we just need to just springboard and push the things that we were doing before, push them forward, because sitting back right now, coming out of COVID and doing nothing it's not, number one, it's not in my DNA, and it's not an option.
Yeah. Listen, we've interviewed probably 150 businesses locally in the last 90 days, and I mean, these businesses are resilient, but they're creative. I've seen a handful of these businesses pivot, part or all of their production to, like, let's say PPE gear, and they're doing thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in sales just by making that one move.
Mhm.
And like, it's happening time and time again with these different businesses. So, yes, there was some businesses that were extremely concerned. Some just realized they had to just work a little bit harder, put their nose down and try to get more creative. And a lot of them realized they need to make sure that their business is online. That's where I think a lot of business owners got caught with their pants down. Not that I'm in that business, but I am. But if you don't have the ability to keep selling your product or service, whatever that looks like, when something like this happens, you got to make sure you address that. So they'll be better prepared for the future. But we've got an incredible business community here in North Bay. Talking to these owners, man, I'm just proud to actually do this and to be able to shed some light on some of these businesses, because they're a pretty cool bunch of business owners.
Yeah. I mean, my background is business, and I get it. And I, as a banker, I financed a lot of deals, and it was, you got to hear the stories, right?
Yeah.
In my banking day, I remember sitting, had an office out of the walkway, the TD Bank, and hearing stories. You get to meet the couple that's running the mom and pop shop, and man, oh man, they're even back then so creative on how to drive business, because as we know, it's tough.
Yeah.
Especially the mom and pop shops, and again, been so amazed on how resilient everyone, the business community has been, and the ideas you're seeing, and things they hadn't thought about before, but they're starting to having to think about. And some businesses are actually being forced to think about it during COVID, right? As you said, online e-commerce.
Mm-hmm.
That's something, definitely something that needs to be pushed, because, there's a hesitation sometimes from individuals because they've been doing it this way for so long. But, I think the ones that are able to adapt are, and we have to do what we can to help them.
Yeah.
But if they can add that to your list now, yes, your retail is still open, or your business is still open. You can still do face-to-face, but now not only can you do online, but I can market my product anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It's an option that wasn't available. It's kind of been there, but I think what coming out of COVID, a lot of businesses are starting to realize that this is another, way to increase my business.
And when these businesses were closed, for example, Manchester's, when it was closed, Shane would still be there, and he'd use this incredible device called a phone, and he would do virtual tours of hot tubs or furniture, and he would still keep selling. Yes, it was harder. Yes, it took more work, but it could be done. So technology, even these Zooms that we've been doing, dozens of these, this all lends to, more business, even if we have to close our brick and mortar doors for a temporary time. You can still move things through. So I was just impressed when I was working with these business owners to see how they pivoted, and hats off to them. Let's talk about one last thing perhaps, and that's the parking downtown. It's free for a specific timeline. Tell me a little bit about that. Is it an hour or 2 hours, or what does that look like?
Well, one of the things that we this Downtown Investment Advisory Committee we spoke at length about. We had 2 or 3 meetings on it actually, and it was specifically about parking in the downtown, and again, everything towards driving people in the downtown. We heard loud and clear from the Downtown North Bay Board that parking was a barrier, so that. This investment advisory board, one of the things they recommended was 1 hour free parking in the downtown. Trying to drive people in the downtown. Another recommendation coming out of there was to promote living in the downtown. 50% off monthly parking rates if you live in the downtown. Free overnight parking in the downtown parking garage. So these are recommendations that came out of there. They went to council, and then I had to put my council hat on,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at it from a budget standpoint in 2020, and I'm going, man, that's going to be a $200,000 hit on our budget, you know. But again, kudos to council and the mayor; they were supportive. It was a big hit considering all the budget challenges we have. But you know, if you look at it, and you got to look at it like this, because that's the way it is. It's an investment in the downtown, because I think ultimately it will drive more people in downtown, whether you're living there, you want to live there, you want to shop there, you want to be entertained down there.
Yeah.
You got some ways to do it and not have to worry about paying for parking.
Quick story, 25 years ago, we were pro Northgate. Our family, we had stores on Northgate Square, and I didn't really see the importance of downtown. As you get older, you start to learn a few things, and I just see such importance with having a strong, vibrant, beautiful downtown. And boy, we are there with our downtown. City has done a great job. I think you're right about the boundaries. I'd like to see it opened up. It's downtown waterfront, and it's in North Bay, and that's going to bring a ton of people our way. Anyways, Dave, you're doing a great job. Keep it up, my friend.
That's where we're heading, downtown waterfront. I mean, and you know it from your business. How, you know, you've got to include that word waterfront when you're talking about the downtown. We have it as a marketing tool. We should use it to its full capacity, right?
It's our biggest asset.
Absolutely.
All right, Dave, listen, thanks so much for taking the time to come on. I greatly appreciate it. Have a great day.
My pleasure. Thanks. And thanks for having me on.
No problem.
And support local business. Support local business.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dave.
Okay.
All right. Bye.